All right, today is Wednesday, February 9th. We're going to do a little live trading session here. Let's see, I just sat down, about to analyze what's going on in the market here. We are watching the NQ 10-tick diagnostic chart, which is what you're seeing on the screen now. So this is my chart that I watch, and like I showed on my last video, I also watch a 30-tick diagnostic bar chart, and this is the Apex investing software, which has order prints on it. This all tells a story. You know, you got to learn what these are. Like this orange line here, that's called a Paul. That's weakness at that price. These little teal lines here, those are ZOIs, zone of interest. There's a lot of interest. These yellow markings here are clusters, meaning there was a little bit of a fight right there. White line is mini magnet. The price is attracted to that and it bounces off of it. We have deviation lines on here. We got all sorts of stuff. So apexinvesting.com is where you can learn this system and trade futures. And I am watching my simplicity chart here. This is another chart that I watch. It's a 30-second chart, and this shows the implied volatility and the options expected price movement. Gives us a good direction of market. And I watch a 50-tick diagnostic chart. So my entries are based on that simplicity chart, but I look at the 10-tick, 30-tick charts to see if I want to get in at that point. So my actual entry is based on the simplicity chart, but like I said, I'm looking at the others to tell me if I do want to take that entry or not. So right now I'm looking at, we are getting a what we call a simplicity short trade, possibly. Let's see here. Let me look and see what's going on. We have some divergence on the 50-tick chart. Let me bring that over. Up here. Okay. See, this is the 50 ticks. The market's moving up, moving up, moving up. Went up, pulled back, made a higher high. And then this is what we call our deviation reversal bars here, which shows it was high, then it pulled up higher, but lower bars here. That means that it is divergent. That means the market could possibly be getting weak at that point and maybe reversing down. So we're going to see if we get a short trade. And like I said in my last video, my strategy is if I get a short run trend down, then I wait for it to pull back, get in for a low risk entry, and take it down pre-market or after hours 5 points per trade. If the market is open, the actual market, which is opens in the morning at 9:30 Eastern time. So if the market's open, I go for 10 points on those trades. And that's my goal for the day. My goal is 10 points a day. So let's see what we have here. It's a little bit choppy. Market looks like it's getting a little bit exhausted. It had a big run up overnight and in this morning. So it may be getting ready to come back down. Let's see. I gotta move my recording thing here. Sorry if the charts are kind of bouncing around a little bit because I'm moving my cursor on my other charts. All right, so now Really what I want right now, let's see. There is some room if I get a run right now, because what I look for is a lot of tops and bottoms and breakouts and retests. And what I mean by that is
double cluster NQ.
That's my notification. What I mean by that is I'm looking here. I mean, it's trending up, but if we look back here, it kind of pulled back here, went up, kind of pulled back to this orange paw again, broke up above this wall, hit the wall, pulled back down here, tested it, went up higher, hit this wall to the tick, went up, hit it again. Now it's kind of broke below it, coming back up and retesting it again, kind of as resistance. See back here, it was support on the bottom,
double cluster NQ.
bottom, broke through, come back up, retest, come back up, retest, and now it's dropping all these clusters, saying there's a fight at this area, this level, on whether the market wants to go up, continue back up, or go ahead and start heading back down. So we'll see. Like I said, there is divergence on the 50 tick, and what the 50 tick is a zoomed out version of the market. The 10 tick is more zoomed in, closer view. The 30 tick is kind of in between. So that's how I'm looking at the market. I have 4 charts up that I'm watching. And now, I just wait and see if that simplicity chart gives me a short entry. And then I let it run down and pull back. And that's when I get into my pullback, my low risk entry. And that's it. So I'm just sitting here waiting to see what happens. All right, it's coming back up. These numbers are, let's see, 1 second. Let's see, sometimes the market, you just got to wait around. Be patient. If you look here on the top left, have my little news indicator. Shows, and we always go by Eastern times trading. So at 10 a.m., there's a little bit of low impact news. 10:30 a.m., we have crude oil inventories. That's kind of a medium impact. Definitely if you're trading crude or CL, you definitely want to watch that. I trade NQ, which is the NASDAQ, so doesn't really make much of an impact. Then we got FOMC member speaking at 10:30, so just things to be aware of. And some days it's like this. You just gotta sit here and wait. And as my mentors say, here at Apex Investing, like I said, that's where I got all my training for futures trading. You're paid to be patient. You just have to sit and wait. Especially right now. Let's see. might be getting a break short now. Looks like simplicity, and I'll show you. Let me pull up this simplicity chart here. Let's see. Okay, put it in the viewing window here. So this is simplicity, and these red and green shaded area are institutional zones. Shows where there's heavy institution, buy, supply, and demand there. So when these two lines are red and angling down like this, when this bar closes in 5 seconds, if they're both still angling down and the next bar breaks the low just like this, now this is what we call simplicity short. So this is an actual trade. When this current bar gets 2 ticks below this setup bar, now it's a simplicity trade to go short. Your stop is going to be above this setup bar, about 5 points behind. So it's a bigger trade and you're risking a lot more. But looking left on this chart, I'd expect this to run down, at least back down to the bottom here. There's nothing on any of the other charts to tell me it's not going to. And if it runs down to this bottom, more than likely it'll come hit this deviation line. Most likely. Not always. We just have to see what the market does. Now, when this is running down and it pulls back up, back to the solid line, that's my low risk entry. That's a pullback of a simplicity trade. I get in that to go short, pre-market, 5 points. I have a 5-point stop. It's a 1-to-1 ratio trade. And that's my actual trade entry.
Potential TX on NQ.
But I'm looking at a bunch of other confirmations on the other charts to tell me whether I want to get in the trade or not whenever it pulls back. You don't always want to, and you don't always want every simplicity trade that goes either. This one looked like it should be a pretty good one. I'd want to see, let me go back.
Orders with exhaustion box on NQ.
Let me go back to my 10 tick and see if there was any reason why not to go short on that. Okay, so we have a mini magnet right here in our way. Mini magnets can be strong when they're by themselves like this, especially if the market's slower. I mean, you'd prefer to take the simplicity trade right under this mini magnet. That way it could push off from it to head down to this deviation level. So this mini magnet, it's probably not going to hold it completely. It's just going to hesitate, get a little more steam, and then come break through it if the trade works. But just something to be aware of. So now it would be an LRE, low risk entry, that I could get in and go short right here for 5 points. I'm not going to, because I don't like that we haven't broke this little range we're in. It might work, it might not. I don't, there's too many clusters around, these yellow clusters all in this area. It could chop around a little bit more. And since the simplicity trade entry was down here, personally I don't like taking a low risk entry when it's behind the original trend entry. Just kind of my personal thing that's worked out for me. So let's see. And this is the reason why trading sessions can go for 30 minutes or an hour or longer. Because you're just being patient, looking for the right setup. Setups happen all the time, but you don't always want to take them. You don't always want to take every single setup you see. You know, and just jumping in and out of trades. You want to take the highest probability, in my opinion. This is my trading style. There's so many different trading styles. But for me, I want to be in and out. I want to take the highest probability trade. Like I said, pre-market, two winning trades, and I'm done for the day. If the market's during the market open, one winning trade, and I'm done for the day. That's going to get you consistency, and you can make well into multiple six figures by building up accounts and adding contracts, and adding accounts, adding funding accounts, which I'll go over that in another video, an actual video where it's not live trading. It's an explanation video. I'll go into trader funding, why you should use it, why I use it. So yeah, make sure and subscribe to my YouTube at Shalon Winter. Bunch of live trading videos will be coming up, some instructional videos, tips, things like that. Also join my Facebook group. Link will be in the description of the video. It's a great group. It's growing, getting more active. You'll see discounts to trader funding, tips on different things to use for trading, book recommendations, psychology, trader discipline, stuff like that. Everything that goes into becoming a professional trader. All right, now let's see if we can break. And sometimes, sometimes I don't even get a trade. Sometimes I don't take a trade. I limit my trading time to about an hour, sometimes more. And I typically like to trade an hour or so before the market opens right now. And if I am trading the market open, we do have a 5-minute dark zone after the market opens. We wait 5 minutes till we take a trade. Personally, I sometimes even wait longer than that if the market has a wild open. I'll wait all the way until 9:45, 10 o'clock to take a trade. But okay, here we go. We got another
TX on NQ.
We got another simplicity short entry below the mini magnet now. So let's see if it holds up and continues short. See, there is our short. Let's see if it goes this time. And it's likely to go down to this orange paw that you see here. Might hesitate at the paw because, like I said, it's a area of weakness right at this price point here, 917.25. Might come down, give us a little bounce. I would like to take, if it ran down here, if it ran down to around this paw or down close to the deviation line, which is this one, but doesn't hit it, comes down around this area, I would like a pullback up to around back to this mini magnet area right here, this bottom, and give me my low risk entry to go back short. That's what I would like. Of course, we know the market doesn't always do what we want it to do, but you have to have an idea of what you want to do. That way, if it happens, then you're ready. Now we are getting a pullback. Let's see. An LRE entry would be about 927, right on that ZOI on the 10 tick, and right below a cluster. Now it's a little bit lower, 926.25. I might take this LRE here, maybe. Because there's some stuff on the 30 tick that can hold it and keep it coming downwards. This market's not moving a lot at the moment. Let's see, I would need a bar to close up. See if we get a close up here. But I do prefer it to come down further first. Okay, we have our pullback now. Let's see here. It's pulled back too far for me. And see, it didn't give me enough of a rundown that I would have liked. And I'll show you. Let me pull up my simplicity chart here. And it might work out. But see, look. Ideally, if this is the current bar and it's pulling back, I'd want to get in at the solid line of the previous bar here. But on my 10 tick chart, that was really not much of a pullback because this didn't run down as far as I would have liked. And you see, so if I would have taken this trade right here, I have a 5-point stop. So 925, 25, yeah, 925, 25. I mean, my stop would be up here, 930.25. So I wouldn't be stopped out as of yet. But I really don't like this trade. You see now the lines have flipped. It very well could go long. It could chop. It's not very solid to me. So, and it might come down and win. But like I said, I like the highest probability trades. And you see, clearly in a downtrend right now, right? We had a high up here, and each time, lower low, lower high, lower low, got a little choppy here, lower low, broke down lower low, pull back. Okay. Like I said, if this would have came down, lower down to this area here, 917 or so, then pulled back up to this area, I would have liked to taken it to go back short. But what you have here, these numbers on the top, that is how many, the percentage of contracts compared to the last pullback. So as this came down, went up, we had 643 contracts compared to the last pullback at 598. So it's more, it's 108% of the last one. We call an HD hidden divergence if this is 125% or more, then you have a higher probability of this continuing down. So on this pullback, had this been over 125% or more, I would have felt better about taking it down. But it's not. It's only 36% of the last. So you had 643 contracts, couldn't make it up this high as the last pullback. Ran down, pulled up, and you only had 36% in this rundown compared to the last. Because of that, it doesn't give me much confidence that this will continue down. Now, let's see if it would have won. I would have got in at, what did I say, 25.25? Let's see if it gave 5 points. It has not given 5 points. But it also has not stopped out. But if I was in this trade right now, I'd be pretty nervous about it. Especially with simplicity, those lines flipping on me and turning green and looking like it might want to give a long trade. So that is the biggest thing of this whole trading platform, is knowing when not to take a trade. And I'm perfectly fine not taking a trade. I used to not be until I really got my discipline down. Because as a trader, you feel like, I gotta take a trade, I gotta make money. But you don't always have to. Because if you take a trade and it loses, ending with 0 is better than ending with negative balance, a negative P&L. So, but if you take a great trade and it loses, then you feel better about it because you have no regrets. It was a great trade. It just lost because there's no trade that's 100% guaranteed. Every trade is essentially a 50-50 shot. It's either going to win or lose. Yes, we have edges to tell us, give us a higher probability, but ultimately, that's plain and simple. It's going to just win or lose, go up or down. So this trade, if I would have taken it, it would have won. But I don't feel bad about not taking it and missing out on the trade because it wasn't the highest probability. In fact, it chopped around quite a bit. It would have been what I call a heart attack trade. You'd be sitting there sweating, saying, "Oh, come on, please, please." And as my mentor says, if you're in a trade and you start praying, then you're, this is my mentor, Daryl Martin of Apex Investing, then you're in trouble. You start praying in the middle of a trade, it's not going to go well for you. So you see here the simplicity chart. It had a run up. It actually gave a simplicity early entry long against you. I would be feeling really nervous about this. Yes, it came down and won down here, but look at all this chop you had to sit through. Okay, so now that these lines reset, they flipped green, flipped back red, that's a reset. Now it might be ready to break down low. But market's not really moving very great today. Or right now. And we're coming up on 9 o'clock Eastern time. Typically, a lot of times what I see is at 9 o'clock we'll see, I guess, a bunch of new traders coming into the market, and sometimes you get a little bit of a jolt. Sometimes, not all the time. All right, let's see now. See, and it's coming down the market, but in a choppy sense. It's not a clean look. This is some clean bars down. Then you get some choppy bars here, little clean run down, choppy bars here, little clean run down. A few bars up, little choppy bars coming down. Market's kind of undecided right now, and it's not moving very fast. I like the markets to move faster, not crazy fast, but I like it to move faster than this for sure. So, I mean, even if I don't take a trade, it's always great to see and hear market reading and what's happening. Even for myself, I go back and look at the market, watch the market, see what happened throughout the day. When I have these trading sessions, I go back and watch them as well. You know, you just want to keep your mind sharp and see what's happening. And, you know, read what's happening. Market's just moving really slow right now. Let's see. We have with Apex, if you're a member of apexinvesting.com, we also have a live trading chat room. It's pretty awesome. Daryl comes in there. We have Lori. She's a market reading wizard. And you can see here, it's our little chat room. Pretty cool. And then they talk. You can ask questions, all kinds of stuff. So I'd highly recommend, if you trade with Apex investing tools, hop in we call it the elite room. Hop in there. So, see, we're coming up on 30 minutes now, 31 minutes. And no trades. Not much has happened. Sometimes this happens too. You know, and it's not I mean, I understand as a viewer, it's not the most exciting thing. You like to see trades going, this and that, and, you know, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars being made and all this excitement. But that's not always the case. Many times it can be. Sometimes it is. But it's not always the case. So you got to take the good with the bad. Know when not to trade. Like, look, last night, I had a nice little trading session last night. I didn't record it. It was just a quick little session. And, yeah, made $765 on per account. So, and today, this morning, I might not make anything. That's the way it goes sometimes. And the reason why that balance that is still on the P&L is because technically the futures market opens at 6 p.m. and closes the next day at 4 p.m. or 4:15. And so if you trade in the evening, that's technically still the same session as the next day. So like whatever P&L you have for the evening, it's going to stay there and it won't get balanced out until the close the next day at 4 p.m. So, just an FYI. All right, well, might not stay on here for too much longer just because the video is getting kind of long. 33 minutes and no action. Hopefully, maybe somebody can pick up a little bit of a golden nugget from, you know, some of the things I was saying. Without seeing a live trade happen. You saw me not take a trade and the reasons why. So maybe that can help somebody in the future. But yeah, I'm going to maybe just give it a couple more minutes and see what happens here. Simplicity is trying to give a long, but it could chop. Because even when Simplicity gives a long setup or a short setup, you always look at this 10-tick chart at the order prints. I mean, this is kind of a choppy mess here. Even on the 30-tick, let me pull over the 30-tick chart. A little bit bigger view of the market. So because it's 30 ticks, it is clean, but look at the wicks. So it came down. You have a little bit of a wick here, came down, wick pulled, that means it pulled all the way back up here. Came down, you got a little wick, and right now, you see it's kind of undecided. But look what you have here. Yellow cluster means there's a fight. Right here to the left, yellow cluster, there's a fight. Right here to the left, yellow cluster, there's a fight. ZOI, zone of interest. Up here, cluster, there's a fight. Weakness with a paw. ZOI, ZOI. So this area right here between this deviation level and this high might be choppy until we break out of this either above or below this area. That's what I would expect. So really, until we have that breakout, I don't really love any trade. So that high would be above about 9 right here, above 946.25, 946.50, and below this deviation or wall right here at about 912.75. So I'd really prefer to break out between those. Unless if it gets really cleaned up. For example, it heads up, but nice clean, or heads down, nice and clean. If it cleans up, then, you know, that'd be better. So here we are coming up on 9 o'clock, and market's getting a little more action. Like I said, more traders are coming in. So I'm going to... It's 8:58, so I'll give it about 5 more minutes to see what happens on the hour. And if we still don't have much, then I'll just have to do another trading session video. But like I said, subscribe to my YouTube channel, because not only am I going to be doing live trading sessions, I'm also going to be doing instructional videos. Things I've learned about trader psychology, discipline, things like that. So definitely want to tune in. Follow me on Instagram. Same thing, at Shalon Winter. I'm even on TikTok. I started posting some quick clips there. Just anything to kind of bring awareness, because, you know, I've been on this trading journey with futures. I've traded before, but with futures, with this system for 2 years now, and I've learned a lot of things to do and a lot of what not to do. Big key there. A lot of what not to do.
Double cluster NQ.
And I bucked the system a lot. So you don't want to do that. But you will find your own trading strategy within the system that you're most comfortable with. And if you join apexinvesting.com and use their systems, then you'll see that. You'll learn that.
Cluster NQ.
And I'm not a employee or anything of Apex Trading. I just use their tools and software and system for my personal trading. So I feel like
potential TX on NQ.
By people seeing another random person using the system and software and tools and having success would, even though, you know, there's no question about the system or the trainers or mentors or anybody, but it's always nice to be able to relate with just somebody else. You never know. Same message, different person, you know, it locks on to different people. Some people can relate more to certain people, and that's why I'm doing this. And you never know. You know, it might just change somebody else's life.
Double cluster NQ.
And
double cluster NQ.
Now
Trap orders with exhaustion box on NQ.
This thing sometimes goes off a lot. It's the alerts that we have. It's good because sometimes if you're focused on certain areas of the chart or this or that, and maybe, you know, you're not paying as much attention or something, then those alerts will kind of tell you what you need to know sometimes. Like it's telling me double clusters. That means that there's a couple clusters within a couple bars of each other. So this is choppy. I mean, it's coil chop, going up and down and up and down. So market's coming alive a little bit. Let's see if it cleans up its act. Or if it's going to continue being a little bit of a mess for us. Okay. I'll give it about 3 more minutes here. I'm thinking to do these trading sessions maybe once or twice a week. That way the other days I can really focus on bringing good content. Live trading is good because you can see how I read the market. But, of course, the other content will be
Potential TX on NQ.
some good golden nuggets.
Potential SLZ on NQ.
Good golden nuggets that anybody with any system can use. This is a trade that we take. It's a sniper trade. It's called a SLZ, star low volume score. If this bar closes up, it'll be an entry. I don't trade these setups because I only do those low risk entry trades. Just me personally, but this would be a great trade to bounce off this wall with this box is called a trapped X box, or exhaustion box. But if there's a little blue dot in it, then it would have trapped orders. But see, this is bouncing off this wall, off the deviation. It laid a ZOI here and has a star on the bar before with a low volume score of 4. So meaning this could be getting exhausted and go up for at least 9 ticks after this bar closes. 10 ticks. If this bar closes up. If the bar does not close up and closes down, then it would not be a trade. So let's see if it works. Entry would be right here when the bar closes. Profit would be right up here, 10 ticks, 1875. So let's see if it closes up. Again, this is not I don't take these trades just for personal preference, but it would be a great valid sniper trade right here. Let's see if it closes up. See, and that yellow cluster popped up there because it's a bit of a fight. And actually, let me pull up the order print chart. You could probably see the fight inside here. That's where our cluster is. And you can see there's pretty equal amount of orders on both sides. These are orders inside that bar. Now
SLZ on NQ.
It closed up, so that's a valid SLZ long trade. So let's see if it wins. And needs to close one more bar up. If this bar closes up, it'll be a winning trade. And it's a winner. So that right there would have got you 10 ticks, 9 ticks, 10 ticks. Valid trade, winning trade. So basically $45 per contract would have been won on that trade right there. Nice little scalp. Valid SLZ trade.
Potential OP rejection on NQ.
All right, well, I'm I'm going to wrap this up here. Well, let's see. Hold on. This is an LRE right now, but I would not take the LRE off of that valid SLZ. So if you could see, personally, I don't like to go against stuff like that. We had a simplicity. No, we didn't. So we did not. See, here's where it can get tricky too if you're not paying attention. So you see this little rundown. Well, I guess we did have an entry here. Both lines are angling down. Entry right below. Yeah, so we had an entry right into the wall here. Simplicity. So this pullback LRE entry would be here to take it to go short. Now, when you're looking at the 10-tick chart, we just had an SLZ happen, which is a very strong trade. The probability of this trade winning is extremely high. I mean, 85-90% chance this is going to win. Very high. And look, it's shooting all the way back up. So why would I want to take a short right here to come back down against that? So another reason why I would not take. So these are the things you got to see. Why you wouldn't want to take that. Now we're getting a setup to go long on simplicity, but here again, I would want it to give me a nice breakout above because we're in a nasty spot here. So I'm going to wrap this up though. Call it a day. I didn't get a trade. And that happens sometimes. So hopefully you picked something up from this video, and I will catch you on the next one. Again, please subscribe, like my videos, and have a great day.